Sir Dennis Cunanan,
Yes, sir.
meron kayong engagement with Lucky South 99. Nagbabayad ka ng regulatory fees sa PAGCOR, meaning nag-ooperate ka. More or less, dun sa 5 times na yun, magkanong naibayad mo in behalf of the Lucky South 99? Mr. Chair, I'm glad that you already recognize me because after my 9th trip to the comfort room, I've almost emptied my gallbladder without, and most of the questions were already raised by our colleagues. But ako lang, dadagdagan ko lang ng, gusto ko lang matanong si Mr. Dennis Cunanan. Mr. Dennis Cunanan?
Yes, sir.
Meron kayong engagement with Lucky South 99?
Yes, Your Honor. On a contractual basis. This on output.
Can you expound on a contract?
On an output basis, Your Honor.
Okay, so your company is a consultancy firm.
But they engage me, Your Honors, personally, not the company.
So not the company.
Yes, Your Honor.
So meaning, meron kang what consultations do they ask from you? Anong binibigay mo na
what happened, Your Honors? What happened, Your Honors, is if they have documents that they need to comply, na kailangan lang basahin, at hindi lang maintindihan, tinatanong po nila sa amin. So,
sa amin o sa iyo?
Sa akin, sir. Tinatanong nila sa akin. Tapos, kung maintindihan na nila, then ginagawa nila, sir. Kung meron na po sila nakagawa, sila, tama ba to? Ito pa yung tama naming isasubmit. I just want to clarify on the PDS, Your Honors. It was an oversight on my part, yung PDS, because I was not the original authorized representative. It was Han Gao. But apparently, when she left, and they needed to complete already the document and submit it to, meron man din silang sir tao eh. Hindi naman po ako lang yung nakalagay doon. Meron din silang tao. So yung tao nila, kailangan tumakbo ng Manila para dalhin yun. Pinapirma ho nila sa akin yung document and then they submitted it. Kaya, it was really an oversight on my part yung aspect na yun. And later,
Dennis, Mr. Cunanan, sorry, no. Yeah, I've seen the ideas that you've submitted,
yes,
no. So hindi naman doon yung direksyon ng tanong ko eh.
Yes, sir.
Ang tanong ko kasi consultant kanila.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So consultant ba sa tax? Consultant ba sa, let's say, link with the LGUs, the national government? Anong klaseng consultancy?
Ginawa nila, sir, akong communications consultant nila para sa kanilang pag-apply doon sa license. Yun lang.
So, they don't have a lawyer?
Meron sila, sir, lawyer. Yung binanggit nga ako kanina, yung Attorney Medina.
So, hindi yung lawyer ang gumagawa nun para sa kanila or the law firm?
Yun ang most likely, sir, yung mga ibang compliance, yun ang gumagawa. Pero hindi yun ang nagdadala sa Manila.
Sige. What exactly is the service you provide for Lucky South? Yung specific?
Liaison, basically, sir.
So, liaison.
Liaison.
And their lawyers cannot do that for them?
Hindi, sir, kasi iba daw yung task nila eh. We actually were telling them, might as well, pagawa nyo na sa mga abogado nyo yan o sa mga tao nyo yan.
Okay. So, kanina I heard that you denied that you received $500,000. And the reason why Miss Cassandra Leong went to PAGCOR is because apparently he was being charged for non-payment of what kind of fees?
Regulatory fees.
Oh, the regulatory fees. Yun ang sinabi niya eh. Kaya siya nagpunta doon. Otherwise, hindi siya pupunta doon. And she was escorted and probably accompanied by Attorney Harry Roque. So, sinabi mo kanina, wala ka natanggap. Yung bang pagbabayad ng Lucky South 99 ng regulatory fees to PAGCOR, hindi ba kasama yun sa services that you provide?
If there are instances, Your Honors, that they cannot do it, they ask us to help them. Pero
so,
hindi kami...
Ask us or ask you?
Me. They ask me to help them.
So how many times have you done that for them?
A few number of times, Your Honor.
Be specific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many?
Maybe around 5 or
5
10.
times. So regulatory fees ito ng PAGCOR. Hindi po ba, correct me if I'm wrong, nagbabayad ka ng regulatory fees sa PAGCOR, meaning nag-ooperate ka. Is that correct? Is that a correct assumption, attorney?
Not necessarily, sir. As long as you have a license and there's no approval for you to stop paying the regulatory fees, monthly pa din po charge po yung ano.
So kahit walang operation?
Yes, sir.
So parang hindi kaya, kahit wala akong kinikita, magbabayad ako regulatory fees?
Pwede po naman kayong sumulat sa board of directors kung talaga pong may valid reason kayo for the stoppage or non-operations. Pero kung wala po kayong board approval na tumigil sa pagbabayad ng regulatory fees, buwan-buwan pa din po yun na tumutuloy.
Thank you for that information. So, Mr. Cunanan, sinabi mo mga 5 times, ano?
Around that much. 5 to 10.
Can you please provide an information to this committee, more or less, dun sa 5 times na yun, magkanong naibayad mo in behalf of the Lucky South 99?
Hindi ko ako mismo, Your Honor. Sina-assist ko lang yung mga tao nila. Kasi nagbabayad sila diretso sa land bank.
Okay.
Nagbabayad.
And would you have any idea how much would that be?
Usually, sir, yung minimum guaranteed fee that PAGCOR is requiring, which is the 150,000. And then I think the reason why they are having some issues is later on when the new administration came in, they started charging additional 50,000 administrative fees. So these were the accumulation of things I think that they were addressing. And if I'm not mistaken, Your Honors, even while they were talking with PAGCOR at that time, they were already settling a portion of that arrears. And then later on, they were able to fully pay all those arrears. So, Your Honors, if I was used as an excuse at that time, I really don't know. I really don't understand. Because later on, Your Honors, just to prove a point, later on, by September and October of that year, 2023, when they were already submitting their application for renewal, they even sent to me their documents for review if it's already okay for them to submit it already. So if I did something wrong to them, Your Honors, ahead of time, ahead of that moment, I don't think they will still come back to me and ask me to check on their documents.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cunanan. I'd like to ask, Mr. Chair, former PAGCOR Chair Andrea Domingo. Ma'am, alam ko, pagod na kayo kakasagot.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. This is very short. Tanong ko lang ho. Kasi earlier, yung opening statement ng CEO ng CESA boldly stated that PAGCOR violated its own charter. Do you agree?
I cannot agree, Your Honor.
I knew that you were going to answer that. Do you have that answer, Madam? So, dito kasi ang premise po nila is that you were issuing licenses to an offshore gaming operations. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Now, because you are issuing offshore gaming license or license to offshore gaming operations, that is already beyond the charter of PAGCOR. Is that correct?
Hindi po. Pwede ko pong i-explain. Nagsimula po ito nung i-amend yung PD 1869 na sinayna ni former President Marcos noong 1978. During the amendment po from 2004 to 2007, nagkaroon po ng interpellation na ang record po ito ay nasa December 4, 2004, December 16, 2004 records ng Congress. Nagtanong po doon si Representative Jaworski dun sa sponsor na si Representative Mig Zubiri kung ang online gaming ay kasama sa isasakupan ng PAGCOR. Ang sabi po ni Representative Zubiri, oo. Tapos po, nag-introduce po ng amendment si Congressman Jaworski na iksama sa exclusion portion nung batas na yon ng RA na natawag na ngayon na RA 9487. Pero po, nung pong natapos na po yung RA 9487, ay hindi po isinama sa exclusion. Dito po, nito pong pinakahuli pong ruling ng Supreme Court noong April 2023, nang may naghabla sa PAGCOR yung Velasquez versus PAGCOR. Ito po, Evangelista, I'm sorry po. Ito po yung, pasensya na po kayo kasi hindi ko memorize lahat eh. Ito po yung, kasi sabi po nitong si Evangelista na walang authority ang PAGCOR to operate. Pero po ang sabi nung pong, yung relevant section po nung ruling, nung Evangelista versus PAGCOR GR 228254 issued in April 2023, ang sabi po, the Supreme Court recognized that the RR Pogo is a quasi-legislative function of the PAGCOR pursuant to Section 8 of PD 1869, which gives it authority to promulgate rules and regulations relevant to the registration of persons engaged in gambling. To wit, ito pong sabi, yung Section 8 po ay registration, all persons primarily engaged in gambling, together with their allied business with contract or franchise from the corporation, the shall register and affiliate their businesses with the corporation. The corporation shall issue the corresponding certificates of affiliation upon compliance by the registering entity with the promulgated rules and regulations. Hindi po ako abogado, kaya po kung tanong ko sa mga kasamahan ko na sa PAGCOR na wala na rin sila ngayon, ang sabi na po, notably, this is a recognition on the part of the Supreme Court that the authority of PAGCOR to regulate gambling operations extend to online or offshore gaming activity. Yan po yung latest
Was that
ruling.
explicitly stated in that ruling?
Yung pong notably, hindi po. Yung pong first two paragraphs.
So, ang sinasabi po natin, ito ay napapaloob sa isang presidential decree.
Yung pong opo, ang pinanggalingan po nito kasi siyempre po nung 1978, wala pa po kasi masyadong internet, di po ba?
Wala pa rin pong Pogo.
Wala pa rin pong casino noon. Wala pa pong regulation noon eh. Kasi nag-regulate lang po sa pagbabasa ko po sa history, nag-regulate lang po si President Ferdinand Marcos before dahilan sa nag-proliferate ang mga casinos, and they thought instead of putting them down, I guess it was a very difficult task. They actually legalized it by creating PAGCOR to regulate the gaming industry. Kaya po yun yung offshoot. Kung pong nandun po sa records na sinabi mismo ng sponsor ng bill na kasama ang online gaming. Yung pong proponent ng amendment na hindi isama sa exclusion, nilagay po niya yon, meron po sa record. Kaya lang, hindi po isinama doon sa after. Kung matapos na po yung RA, wala po sa exclusion.
So, dahil wala po sa RA, ibig sabihin po, hindi ho allowed.
Meron po hindi po kasama sa exclusion. Hindi po in-exclude as per the amendment
Sige po,
of the Congressman.
Chairman, can I interject with regards to that? Actually, Chairman,
Yes.
ganito lang po, ito ngayon dalawang jurisprudence, you're citing dalawang jurisprudence. One is the latest, Camo, but I have to check it. But with regards to the 2004 Juarez versus PAGCOR, in which the ruling of the Supreme Court favors PAGCOR, it's all about It's not all about, we're talking about Pogo now, offshore gaming. It's all about internet gaming.
2004
Kaya nga,
Juarez.
so, dali po, let me clarify lang. So you cannot invoke such jurisprudence with regards to this case because we are talking now about Pogo. In that case, that was 2004, walang Pogo, ang issue doon is internet gaming. And it's very clear. Kasi it was also cited by PAGCOR during the second hearing. And I refuted it. That was all about internet gaming. It's not all about Pogo. Now, ako hindi pa ako conclusive. I will not also argue now with regards to Evangelista. I have to check it. No, yung exact ruling. But, ang sinasabi ko lang, yung 2004 ruling is not all about offshore gaming. It's all about internet gaming, in which, sabi ko nga, Jaworski versus Pagcor, Supreme Court favors the position of Pagcor. Yun lang po, just for the record. Now, question, Evangelista, may GR number ka na siya, sinite, that was 2023, okay? I have to check it. No, I have to check it. Kasi malabo yung 2004, ma'am eh. Because that time, there is no such offshore gaming. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng i-invoke yung jurisprudence na yun. As I've said, and again, I reiterate, I've checked it, na hindi siya applicable in this committee investigation. But, Chairman, I-check ko muna yung question ng Evangelista.
Thank you for that, Congressman Paduano. Sige, you can proceed.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano, for putting words into my mouth. I was about to say that, but thank you anyway. Yusek Cruz,
Yes, sir.
yung bang raid nyo sa Pogo ay meron kayong search warrant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pwede po bang malaman anong korte ang nag-issue ng warrant?
Meron pong Bulacan, then meron kaming Angeles, and then meron pong Pampanga.
Okay. Bakit po sa Bulacan kayo kumuha?
Minsan po, sir, yung familiar po kami dun sa judge, and medyo may konting doubt lang kami minsan kasi, sir, but not really talaga nagdududa kami dun sa local. But pag may ganung pakiramdam kami, sir, we try to look for another court, sir, just to make sure na hindi maglilik yung information.
Are you not aware, Yusek, na there could be a bigger question kapag kumuha kayo sa ibang jurisdiction na hindi sakop ng jurisdiction?
It's a normal practice even during our time, sir, nung nasa serbisyo pa po ako.
Okay.
Na we get search warrant from other courts.
So sabi mo kanina, Yusek, kasi nagdududa, no? May pagdududa minsan dun sa maring mag-issue ng warrant. No? May experience ka bang ganun? Ang PAOK ba nagkaroon ng ganyang experience?
If we talk of the experiences we got, sir, dito lang sa stay ko, sir, sa PAOK, there were instances, we're even with the Pagcor group, sir, many raid kami, and then sinalubong na kagad kami ng 4 na abogado, And then in Porac, sir, we applied for a search warrant, and then the warrant was recalled, and then the next day it was denied. So we need to apply we need to go to another court. Ayun nga, sir, sa ibang court para makapag-apply kami uli, sir. So imagine, sir, nag-apply ka sa isang court, and then the same court who gave you the search warrant, siya na rin, sir, yung nag-deny ng warrant niya, sir. So
Anong court yan na Gilbert, Yusek Gilbert? Anong court?
Yes, sir. That's Malolos, RTC.
Sino judge?
Rama. I think it's Judge Rama, sir.
Judge
Rama.
Rama?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Congressman Barbers.
Thank you. So, because of your experience, you thought it wise to secure a warrant from another jurisdiction. Tama po ba yung aking assessment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in spite of the fact that you know na merong maring i-question dyan.
Yes, sir. Kasi during that time, it's a matter of life and death, Your Honor. Every time we do raids, it is because someone is being tortured or someone is being held against their will. And in this case, sir, when we applied for a warrant dito, sir, sa Banban, sa Porac, sir, yung Vietnamese national, he was, tumakas po siya, sir. And while getting out of the Pogo Hub, binibidyo niya yung sarili niya, sir. And it was a live stream in Vietnam. So our attention was called by the Vietnamese embassy na sinasabi na meron silang nationality, Vietnamese nationality na a victim of torture and now tumakas siya dun sa isang bahay. So pinuntahan po namin and then after learning that, sir, we applied for a search warrant using yung ganong lahat, sir, ng incident po namin laging may victim. It's not we just want to apply for a warrant dahil gusto naming raidin, sir, yung isang pogo. It is because there is a person being tortured or a victim of kidnapping, sir. Ongoing, sir.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Yusek. And last question, Mr. Chair. I'd like to direct this question to PAGCOR. Based on your records, attorney, sino ang pinakamalaking pogo operator sa Pilipinas sa ngayon? Yung legal muna. Yung legal muna. Kasi I'm sure you might probably withhold the information on the illegal, but just the same, who is the biggest pogo operator sa Pilipinas ngayon?
Siguro, sir, with regard to space po, company po, pangalan New Oriental Club po.
New Oriental. With regards to the space, that's one parameter, correct?
Yes, sir.
What about in terms of revenues?
Ngayon po kasi halos pare-pareho lang po sila na less than 100 to 150,000 US dollars. Siguro, sir, sa ano na lang, sa table games, Infovine po. Malaki po yung table
Infovine.
game.
And I believe, Mr. Chair, that in the last hearing, we asked PAGCOR to submit to us copies of documents of these pogo legal pogo operators, all pertinent information about their corporations, correct? So it's all there. So, yeah, so Ma'am Domingo, so I am also of the opinion na hindi po sakop ng binabanggit yung jurisprudence yung operations ng online offshore gaming kasi po ang charter ng PAGCOR ay napapaloob lamang territorial po within the territory of the Philippines. But there could probably be some exemptions to that which I am not really aware and familiar of. However, ma'am, yung binanggit kasi kanina ni former Senate President Enrile, sinabi niya na hindi pwedeng mangyaring ganoon because nga po, territorial nga po ang charter ng PAGCOR. Even the authors and the intent of the law creating the charter of PAGCOR was likewise a territorial ang coverage po niya ay within the Philippine territory. Hindi po pwede lumabas. So, iwanan po natin muna yon. I'd like to ask some details about paano ho ba yung I heard earlier na sinasabi po na it was during your watch na marami pong POGO license na ipinalabas ang PAGCOR. Totoo po ba yan?
Pinakamarami pong na-approve na PAGCOR POGO licenses during our time are 63. At any given point of time, lalo na nung height niya, nung 2018 at 2019, 50 lang po talaga ang nagpa-function.
59.
Opo. Noon pong matapos ang pandemic, nung malis ako sa pwesto, 34 po ang nag-ooperate at may 130 na service provider.
So let me just be clear. Yung iba ho yung service provider because they do not accept bets. Tama po ba? At iba naman ho yung POGO licensees kasi sila naman yung nag-operate ng gaming.
Opo.
Okay. Dito sa inyong pagkakaalam o sa inyong panunungkulan bilang chairman ng PAGCOR, sino ho yung pinakamalaking POGO operator sa Pilipinas?
Pasensya na po kayo at hindi ko na po alam yung
during your time po, ma'am.
Hindi ko po alam yung mga ganyang detalye. Kaya
so you don't know?
Kung pwede pong i-ask ng PAGCOR kung sino po yung mga mga operational during those time at kung sino po ang mga may nagmamayari.
Sige po, ma'am. I-educate nyo na lang po kami o ako. Ano po yung parameters para malaman nating maliit, medium size, at malaking operation ng isang pogo? Ano po ang parameters niyan?
I think one of the parameters would be revenue stream.
Okay, that's good. At least we know that based on your experience, it is the revenue stream which is the basis of the the corporations in paying their taxes, correct?
Opo.
So,
At saka rin po, bago po sila ma-issuehan ng, iba po kasi yung license certificate doon sa notice to commence operation. Doon po sa bago po ma-issue yung notice to commence operation, nagsasubmit din po sila nung particular na paraphernalia, particular na gaming equipment at yung mga spaces na kailangan nila para doon. So, pwede rin po parameter yon per square meter and the amount of equipment that they have and the amount of manpower that they have.
ma'am, ilang years po kayo sa PAGCOR, ma'am? 6 years, no? In that 6 years, you don't recall even a single company that have paid X amount of fees to PAGCOR? Just yung basis lang doon sa fees, ma'am.
Hindi ko na po marirecall yung specific payment kasi
Wala bang company name that probably, kumbaga sa kanta, LSS, yung lagi mo naalala, yung last song syndrome, wala bang ganon?
I'm sorry po kasi tulad po ng sinabi ko kanina, ang PAGCOR po ay ang POGO po, maliit po na portion lang ng operation. Pero po kung tatanungin niyo ako sa mga integrated resort casinos, malalaman ko po yon. Pero kung tatanungin din po niyo ako kung sa 900 na e-bingo o e-games na pinare-regulate, hindi ko rin po alam ang mga pangalan nila.
Did you also have an experience like what the present administration of PAGCOR had? Na meron pong naglalabi, meron pong hindi nagbayad ng regulatory fees?
Pag hindi po nagbayad ng regulatory fees, sinisingil at tapos po idinideduct dun sa kanilang cash bond na 100 million pesos po yata nung time namin.
Meron pong nangyaring ganyan?
Meron pong nangyayaring ganyan.
May we know anong company po yan, ma'am?
Nandun po sa audit report, hindi ko na
So
po...
you don't recall?
Hindi
You don't
na po
remember?
Opo.
I understand. Kasi medyo may katagalan rin.
At saka
I'm just asking these questions, ma'am. Just like Senator Enrile, who's got sobrang photographic yung kanyang memory. Baka ganun din po kayo, ma'am. Yeah. So, another question, ma'am. So, doon ho ba sa licensing, pagka kayo po, ang PAGCOR po ay nakapag-issue na ng license sa isang POGO, meron pa ho ba kayong monitoring na ginagawa?
Yun po ang papaliwanag ko kung pwede po.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Two-stage po ang para ma-complete yung process ng pag-issue ng tamang dokumento para makapag-operate ang POGO. Yung first stage po, na nag-i-issue po ng license certificate, ito po ay nangangailangan ng submission of documents like corporate documents, letter of no objection from the LGU, BIR registration, and proof of payment of all fees. Pag po maayos na to, ini-issue po yung license certificate pero hindi pa po nai-issue yung notice to commence operations. Kaya po nag-i-issue based on documents yung license to operate kasi po hindi sila makakakuha ng mayor's permit, hindi po sila makakapamili ng equipment at gaming equipment and paraphernalia at kadalasan po ayaw ng landlord nila na pwedeng galawin yung kanilang space na nire-rent at i-adjust sa kanilang kailangan kung wala pong license. So po, pag nag-meet na po nila ito at magkakaroon na po ng probity check at actual physical inspection mula po sa PAGCOR at saka pa lamang po mabibigay yung notice to commence operations. Yung pong from the license to the notice to commence operations, nung during normal times na wala pong pandemic, 6 months po ang binibigay ng PAGCOR dyan na hindi pa po sila nagbabayad ng kahit anong penalty or administrative fees. Kasi po, na 6 months, kaya na po nilang import at i-retrofit at makakuha ng iba pang permits na kailangan. Kaya naman po nagcha-charge after 6 months during normal times kasi po, pag nag-project po kami ng revenues, yung mga na-approve na ng mga POGOs, kailangan po makakuha na rin ng revenues doon dahil kung hindi, magfo-fall short po yung aming mga projections, which is required by other government agencies. At saka po, ayaw po sana, yun po, iniiwasan na kukuha lang ng lisensya na parang provisional license lang, tapos ipasa sa iba, at iba na lang ang sasalo. Hindi ko sinasabi pinagbibili, pero ayaw po sana na yung mangyari nun. During the pandemic po, na-extend po yan ng hanggang 2022 kasi nga po, nagsara naman lahat ng karamihan ng deal nila kunwari sa mga permits, mga purchases and all of that. Kaya po, nagkakaroon na ng income ang PAGCOR sa regulatory fees at admin fees na $150,000 per month kahit wala pong operations.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you po dyan sa information na yan. We already got the substantial information regarding that. Pero natanong ko kasi, the reason why I asked that, are we monitoring after a license is issued?
Yes po, kaya meron po kaming CMED.
Okay. Kasi nga ho, seems that from
Sir, ano po, after the notice to commence operations po.
Okay. Kaya ho, kasi natanong ko ito, mukhang walang nakamonitor na meron pong mga POGO na nagiging scam hubs. May mga POGO licenses na nagbibenta, nagkakaroon ng sublay as shared by the present PAGCOR administration. Kasi saan nang galing yung sinabi na ni Chairman Altenco na merong 402 POGO operators, both legal and illegal. Is that correct, Attorney?
Those are, sir, the illegal na po.
O yung illegal, saan nang galing po yun, di ba?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po, ang PAGCOR may jurisdiction sa legal. Yun pong illegal ay talaga pong trabaho na po ng law enforcement yun.
So, yun nga po, ma'am, no? Na-issue nyo yung license. Kunyari, sa isang POGO company, no? Na-issue. Then, you monitored. Sabi nyo nga, kailangan yung license to commence. That's the correct term,
Commence
no?
operations.
Notice to commence operations. Pagkatapos nun, namomonitor nyo pa?
Namomonitor po. Yun nga po ang trabaho ng CMED.
Okay.
Yung Compliance, Monitoring, and Enforcement Department.
Okay. So, very active po siguro itong department na ito.
Dapat po.
Napakarami yung krimen na nag-uugat mula sa isang POGO operation. Hindi po nakita ng CMED yun.
Ito pong mga na-raid na, ito pong tulad po nitong Lucky 99, yan po ay illegal po yan. Kasi nga po, kahit po sa record ng PAGCOR, hanggang ngayon po, wala naman pong operations yun eh. Kaya yung nakukubra doon ay mga regulatory fees. Yung pong isa, hindi ko na po alam kasi itong isang nahuli, yung swan yung, the new one, kasi hindi na po nangyari sa aking term. Last day of reporting ko po, June 30, 2022.
Okay, sige po. Salamat po, ma'am. If I may ask, Paok, do I still have time, Mr. Chair?
You have all the time in the world, my friend.
Thank you. Salamat. That's all for now, Mr. Chair. Thank you.